Let me.
I think we're good. Hey guys, welcome to Hot Topic Tuesday. April and Trish coming at you with another week of thyroid. So we have been focusing a lot, mostly you'll notice hypothyroidism because we talked about in the call last week that we don't see too many cases of hyperthyroidism. So not as common, I guess, as what we normally see. So we've been focusing on that. And today we really want to make just a quick, brief little message about supplements to support the thyroid. Last week, you might remember we talked about how the thyroid is very nutrient dependent. So, any kind of malnutrition, gut dysbiosis, anything that might be affecting our nutrient absorption, can have an impact on the thyroid. So today we want to just touch on some supplementation and what supplements and nutrients are important for the thyroid, and then we'll kind of wrap it up maybe talking about some of our favorite supplements. Always we love to talk about like food supporting first. Supplementation is definitely kind of like your second tier. So tomorrow, actually, if you checked out today's post on Facebook, we did focus on just the nutrients that are important and their function, which we'll kind of go over a little bit today. But tomorrow we're going to talk all about foods. So foods that are zinc rich, foods that are iodine rich, with some of the stuff we're talking about today. So always think food first, but supplementation just might be something you need to kind of top it off there a little bit. So we'll touch on that today. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I think I have about 7 and April has about like 4 or 5 maybe to kind of talk about. But the first one is iodine. So iodine is essential for thyroid hormone synthesis. However, excessive iodine intake can also exacerbate thyroid dysfunction. And that'll especially happen in people that have the autoimmune Hashimoto's. So therefore, it's important to ensure adequate but not excessive. So you definitely want kind of the adequate iodine intake there. Second one is selenium. Selenium is a trace mineral that plays a crucial role in thyroid hormone metabolism and has antioxidant properties that may protect the thyroid gland. Selenium deficiency has been associated with an increased risk of thyroid disorders. So that's your second one there. Moving along, zinc. Zinc has been coming up a lot in so many things lately. Zinc is important for thyroid hormone production and conversion. So if you are deficient in zinc, you may have, a sluggish thyroid, and that will still impair your function there. Iron is necessary for thyroid hormone synthesis. Iron deficiency can impair thyroid function, and it also can reduce the body's response to thyroid hormone replacement therapy. So if you are somebody that is on medication, you definitely want to make sure your iron status is good and you're being supportive there. Vitamin D, it's like, again, we could have led with this one. Vitamin D is like important for like literally everything. Vitamin D deficiency has been associated with autoimmune thyroid diseases such as Hashimoto's and Graves'. So adequate vitamin D levels may help regulate the immune system and support thyroid function. B12, that's another good one. Vitamin B12 deficiency is actually more common in people that have hypothyroidism. It can contribute to fatigue, which already most people that have thyroid conditions are already kind of tired and fatigued. So if you're deficient in vitamin B, it just could be exacerbating those symptoms for you. So adequate B12 is great for thyroid function and to increase your energy levels. Omega-3 fatty acids, another one kind of up there with, vitamin D, as being a good, just basic all around. So omega-3 fatty acids have anti-inflammatory properties, so that might help reduce inflammation in autoimmune thyroid conditions. So that's all I have. And do you want to, April, like say yours, and then we kind of talk about like our sources that we like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just want to kind of start with reiterating and and reminding like what Trish said, that we are big proponents of food. of trying to get, vitamins and minerals from natural food sources. Sometimes for some people it's a little bit easier to add in a supplement, if needed. So that's basically what the premises of this quick live is for this week. So in addition to what Trisha said, you have adaptogens. So adaptogens like ashwagandha, rhodiola, and holy basil. Now, they typically will support adrenal function and help our bodies adapt to stress. Stress is, we've talked about it before in the past, stress is like one of the precursors to a lot of metabolic chaos in general. Like stress, high cortisol, is almost always the root source of a lot of dysfunction within the body. So adaptogens are a good one. Probiotics. Probiotics, obviously, there is a connection to our hormones, our thyroid, to our gut. If our gut is not in a healthy place, we're not going to properly absorb and process the nutrients that we consume from food or even supplements. So probiotics, healthy gut is super, super, super important. And then lastly, L-tyrosine. L-tyrosine is an amino acid that is actually a precursor to thyroid hormones, to creating thyroid hormones in the body. So that is also an important one. And it's funny because L-tyrosine is one that I used to always see it prior to us going through all the functional studies and certification. I used to always see it a lot in the bodybuilding community. They would always talk about L-tyrosine, but they just talked about it from the amino acid standpoint, not from the thyroid. So anyway, so that's kind of what I've got is those were, like I said, we're kind of keeping it short and sweet this week. Now, in addition to, we will be doing a post about specific foods for like zinc, vitamin D, selenium, all that. But we did want to touch on some of our favorite products. One of my favorites to support, if I have a client that it looks like some of the markers are indicating that the thyroid is sluggish, but they're not in a clinical range to, like it's like a subclinical diagnosis of hypothyroidism, not necessarily in the range to say, okay, you're hypothyroid. I like Thyroid Synergy by Designs for Health is one of my favorites. I know you like Thyroid
I
Boost.
like Thyroid Boost from New Ethics. Yes. And I know that I just noticed I got I've taken the Thyroid Boost for a while, and I just got another one that was the Thyroid Boost Essentials. And I like it, but I like the other one because it's one a day. That's kind of important to me. If I may forget to take something multiple times a day, so I will probably definitely go back to just the regular one and do one a day. So I like
Agreed.
that.
No, that
I've
is.
seen some people try the Designs for Health too, and they've liked that one. I just haven't tried it myself.
Yeah, and it's funny because exactly what you said, when I'm making a recommendation for a client, usually I will, unless it's something like it's like essential, like it's like we're going through a gut healing protocol,
Yeah.
and like a binder you would typically need to take, twice a day. But for the most part, I look at what can I maximize, because I can't take something like 3 times a day. Like there's no way I would ever remember that.
AM, PM. If there's something in the afternoon, chances are it's not happening.
AM, PM, or if it's just one, then sign me up.
Yeah,
Like that's, yeah,
yeah.
no. So like I said, I know you like the thyroid boost. Probiotics. Okay, so probiotics, gosh, there's so many good ones. Um, what is your favorite? What would you say your favorite is?
I like seed.
You like seed?
Mhm.
Really? Okay.
SEED, seed probiotic.
The seed,
The macro blend. Yeah, and it,
I don't think I recommend that one a lot. I like I'm gonna say probably Megaspore. Megaspore is probably one of my favorites. Megaspore is a good one. And also I love Cellcore's products. Cellcore has like such good stuff. But Megaspore, and then if I have clients that um have like any type of bacteria overgrowth, then I will do the Saccharomyces
yeah,
boulardii. That one's really, really good.
That
And
one is a good one for like more serious diarrhea symptoms. So
well,
yeah,
and
definitely that one.
and like yeast overgrowth, but it's used a lot of times. It's used when there's a lot of different bacteria toxins,
Mhm.
basically where it's like a reverse titration where you will like mega dose it, like you'll mega dose it for like a couple weeks at a time. So that one is like really, really good. But I would say I would say Megasport and Proflora are probably my favorites because they kind of have high CFUs and they have a lot of different spores or a lot of different strains in them. So those are my favorite. And then um, L-tyrosine, I would say probably Thorn. I think Thorn is you really can't go
Yeah,
wrong.
the orange bitter. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
There's stuff you really can't go wrong. It's not, it's third party tested. It's I do want to tell people, do want to tell everybody that be cautious of the things, and you can get super super overwhelmed when you're like looking at supplement details. Like you go on Amazon and you pull up, say, zinc, it's going to pull up 7 million different things, and some people will just go by, and I'm guilty of doing this, where I'll just go by, oh, okay, this one has 10,000 reviews, so it must be good,
Mhm.
but Amazon got hit here recently for some of their supplements, like containing things that weren't supposed to be in them. Number
Mhm.
one, but I would highly, highly recommend going with a any supplement that you do, because supplements are not regulated by the FDA. So it's like me and Trish could start a supplement company. We'd be like, oh, let's make our own supplements. And like some other people that we know, but let's start our own supplements. We have the funding, we have whatever, and it's who's to say, what the heck is in them, so you always want to go with things that are third party tested. So
Yes.
you always want to go with supplements that are third party tested. And if you do have access to get, like medical grade supplements, then you're going to end up, and like I explained to my husband, if you go with the medical grade, you end up taking less, so the
Yeah,
dose.
like one a day as opposed to maybe like three or four. That's important
Exactly.
too. Yeah,
100%, 100%.
exactly.
Um, his best friend was he was complaining about his knees kind of aching. And I made the suggestion, well, first he needed to stop drinking Coca-Cola, but more importantly, I made the suggestion. I think, well, maybe just add in something like fish oil, omega-3 and a glucosamine. That should probably help, maybe at least for 30 days or whatever. Anyway, he reported back that his knees were almost like completely pain free, like all the pain was gone. But the one that he ordered, he got off of Amazon, and he was literally taking like 6 or 8 a day. And I'm like,
Yes,
goodness, that's a lot.
that's a
Anyway,
lot.
so
Yep.
yeah, so sometimes when you go with the medical grade, it's more potent. Plus, you kind of know what you're getting. So with that
Yeah.
being said, we're short and sweet today. I hope everybody has a great week. Look for our post tomorrow so you can get all the whole food sources for everything.
Yep.
And see you next week.